Go back to my studio guest here, Mr. Tong. Mr. Tong, this is the first state visit from the Chinese leader to Seattle. What are some of the major expectations from this visit?
Actually, the good weather there actually gave a very promising day for the state visit of our president this time. I'm sure during the staying in Seattle, our president will touch upon various topics and will meet various officials and also the CEOs of the business giant, and also will contact the public people in Seattle. So this is a very good beginning, something like this, a good weather there.
And Professor Lisley there in Pennsylvania, I want to go back to you on the arrival. Of course, the Chinese leader is now in Seattle, and that's his first stop. Why do you think he picked Seattle as his first stop rather than flying straight into Washington from here?
You fly across the Pacific a lot. It's always nice to be able to stop partway and get adjusted to the time zone, but that's surely not what's driving it. I think Xi Jinping understands the importance of getting outside of New York and Washington. Just as when one goes to China, it's important to get outside of Shanghai and Beijing. He clearly has an appreciation for that, and his first and his only major public address, I think, will be in Seattle, the one aimed at the American public anyway. Secondly, I think Seattle is one of America's major Asia-Pacific cities. It's got a very significant Asian-American population, including, of course, former governor and former U.S. ambassador to China, Gary Locke, and it has strong trade and many other links to Asia, and especially to China. Thirdly, it's a major high-tech center. China is pursuing an innovation economy. Well, this is the hub of many American tech enterprises, including most famously Microsoft and Amazon, but there are many, many others. It's also a major place for Boeing. It's Boeing's chief operations center, and China buys a lot of those planes, and Boeing sources a lot of its components in China, so the aerospace sector is there too. As I think was mentioned earlier, Starbucks. Anybody who spent time in China has certainly spent time in Starbucks, so it's always nice to go by there, but that, of course, is another major American company. And I'm sure it's not on Xi Jinping's agenda, but I think it's sort of an interesting resonance that Seattle is, of course, the site of where the protests against the WTO first started taking hold, and I think that is the story that has led us to the kind of much discussed and really in some ways quite interesting and promising different approaches to trade liberalization that we see from both Beijing and Washington in recent years.
Professor Jacques de Lisley there in Philadelphia, thank you.